We are the real God-concerned citizens. We are the real God-concerned citizens.
Will you say that again?
We are the real God-concerned citizens. We're the real God-concerned citizens. And we support the man. We support the man. Now, we support the man.
As you can see, it's overwhelming tonight. Overwhelming crowd tonight. We see an overwhelming crowd. The TV channel going. That told me, don't support me. I have never, no one has ever seen me grab anybody's camera. Nobody has ever seen me touch another human being in Gordon. And I'm saying that is the temple in this area. And this is why the governor of the state of Georgia, or the Secretary of State, Brian P. Kemp, or Georgia Attorney General Sam Olsen need to come here into these southern towns and try to put an end to this before this get out of hand. We have pleaded in several cities, and we have asked that our leaders come to try and resolve the situation. As you can see, the tensions are high, but I have never taught anyone. Yet this afternoon, the young lady grabbed my camera, as you saw. As you listen. Listen, please. Listen. This is why the governor of the state of Georgia, needs to step in. Nathan Deal, Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp. This is why the Georgia elected officials need to come into Gordon, Georgia. This is why the governor of the state of Georgia, the Georgia Attorney General, for Eric Holder, the Justice Department, President Barack Obama, in all these southern cities. This is what is happening. And yet nobody, NAACP, the SCLC, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, notice, look, listen. All right.
He told him to walk out. I walked out.
That's why she bringing him in. That's why she bringing him in.
He must have seen his name. That's what he seen his name.
That's why.
He seen the last name.
It was more than him. And they can't stop nobody from laughing. You got a right to laugh.
You can't sell down, right?
I don't know. Everybody should bring them all in. That's why. No black folks. Them that don't want to do right, they need to get them up there. They need to get rid of every damn thing from up here. All of them. The guys are supposed to be working for them. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They need to get rid of them. They need to get rid of Marshall don't need to be back here in damn me. They need to get rid of that woman up there. They need to get rid of her and Renee were about to drop in there. She sure did, looking like a wild hawk. The council member need to get rid of her and her. And I can buy my own. Now them council members need to get rid of that shit, man. They need to get that shit over there.
Petition, sign petition. They don't want to leave.
Meigs ain't never been like this.
Show ain't is it?
They ain't never been like that. Until we got these roads and trenches in here. I pay taxes. I can't never been like this here. I'm
telling you, ain't never been like this here. I'm born and raised here.
You ain't never been able to speak up for yourself. Every time they try to damn block. They need to just get rid of them. That's what they need to do. Make me make it.
All I would need to get myself on camera.
You ain't do nobody take the money like she did that over there in damn Cooley. That's why she can't get a girl like mine to pay the money at night.
Kill Cooley, you try to kill me, but they ain't have. I ain't gonna pay my water bill, nothing but like that.
Yeah, is it 4 inch or 2 inch? No, sir. It was 6 inch.
Quick, man.
6 inch? Okay, so said to what's happening is the pressure or measure the okay, then so what we need, we run 6 inch water line down the road. And they hooked it up from there. That's supposed to be a 6 inch. See what they do.
Really don't want. I think Larry ain't doing. His name Larry up there.
And so that was oh Lord.
They know what they're doing. They need to send that woman back. They know what they're doing. And they need to get rid of Renee too.
Everything in there.
How do you make her feel that? She made it herself. She ain't never turned in her application for a job, but she won't give it to them. Okay, and how if they get paid, they ain't turn their application in.
Let me see what Uncle Lady talking about.
We can't go back in, y'all.
This is why the governor of the state of Georgia, or the Secretary of State, Brian P. Kemp, or Georgia Attorney General Sam Olsen need to come here into these southern towns and try to put an end to this before this get out of hand. We have pleaded in several cities, and we have asked that our leaders come to try and resolve the situation. As you can see, the tensions are high, but I have never taught anyone. Yet, this afternoon, the young lady grabbed my camera, as you saw. As you listen. Listen, please. Listen. This is why the governor of the state of Georgia, this is why the governor of the state of Georgia needs to step in. Nathan Deal, Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp, this is why the Georgia elected officials need to come into Gordon, Georgia. This is why the governor of the state of Georgia, the Georgia Attorney General, Eric Holder, the Justice Department, President Barack Obama, in all these southern cities, this is what is happening. And yet nobody, NAACP, the SCLC, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, notice, look, listen.
All right.
I would like to tell America to take off the blinders. I would like to tell Governor Dio and any of the people up there that we elected to take the blinders off and come and see what's going on in their communities. Enough is enough, and that's it. We're not taking it anymore. We're not going to take this thing down.
This is why the governor of the state of Georgia, or the Secretary of State, Brian P. Kemp, or Georgia Attorney General Sam Ozen need to come here into these southern towns and try to put an end to this before this get out of hand. We have pleaded in several cities, and we have asked that our leaders come to try and resolve the situation. As you can see, the tensions are high, but I have never taught anyone. Yet this afternoon, the young lady grabbed my camera, as you saw, as you listened.
It is.
You're violating. I am the official record. You're not even supposed to take those out of my office.
It wasn't as advised.
Those are the official signed signature on there. You're very rude.
Leave it running. Leave it running.
And Mr. Rhines has no right to those records without open record request.
Please exit my office.
This is why the governor of the state of Georgia, or the Secretary of State, Brian P. Kemp, or Georgia Attorney General Sam Ozen need to come here into these southern towns and try to put an end to this before this get out of hand. We have pleaded in several cities, and we have asked that our leaders come to try and resolve the situation. This is why the governor of the state of Georgia, or the Secretary of State, Brian P. Kemp, or Georgia Attorney General Sam Olsen need to come here into these southern towns and try to put an end to this before this get out of hand.
It's me, I need my minute books.
Okay, let me say this. I have the minute books, and if you need them, you need to go in there.
Do you realize you're supposed to look at those in my presence too? I'm the official record custodian. I am responsible
Clerk
for those.
Brown, good afternoon. And would you please
I don't
leave?
think so.
Please exit my office, please.
It is.
You're violating.
They,
I am the official record. You're not even supposed to take those out of my office.
Wasn't as advised.
Those are the official signed signature on there.
Leave it,
You're very rude.
Leave it running. Leave it running.
And Mr. Ryan has no right to those records without open record
Please
request.
exit my office.
And don't forget
Please
you haven't done your.
But it is.
Have not signed
we
your
was
text
advised.
either.
They was advised. She was advised by the attorney.
The city attorney told me to tell
office.
you that. You're violating the
Please
rules.
exit my office. Y'all are being insubordinate.
No, ma'am, you're being rude and disrespectful to your
Exit
employees.
my office, please. Thank you.
Okay, the attorneys will be contacted.
Thank you.
Greetings, this is the Ghetto Free Press, and I'm George Boston Rhines. As you can see, the people are gathering here at Garden City, and that's because this interest in this mayor situation with Garden Mayor Whipperloo is really, really getting heated. It's beginning to spread in terms of the heartbeat of the real situation. The people now seem to be a little more interested in other things than just the Sunshine Law and the Open Records Law. They are now questioning the Georgia Appeals Court. They are now questioning the actions and the attitude of Judge Reeves. It's a lot of things happening. And we are here because we want you to know the truth, not the half-truth, but we want you to know the truth, the total truth. And so we have standing here the people. These are the citizens. These are the voters of Gordon. They came early. I think it's about 6:20 something. They came a little early tonight, so they want to see what's going on. And we're going to report it to you because this is what we do.
We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
I don't know who she is, but I want you to watch in slow motion what took place. I want you to see how my camera went up, and notice that I did not strike anyone. I was here moving out of the building. Watch in slow motion. You have already seen it in regular speed, but I want you to see the truth, because that's all I have ever done since 75 reported the truth. Councilman Edith, the Mayor Pro Tem, Edith, the Mayor Pro Tem. Listen, please. The lady right there, she's approaching me. Listen and watch. As she assaulted me, notice the camera go up, around, up, even to the top of my forehead. Then I brought it back. She returned. It looks as if though the lady in green is coming to block the view or to give her guidance. But it had been done. Once again, it is what it is. Now I'm going to back it up and let you see it in real time.
Okay, let him walk in first. Yeah. Excuse. Nobody out here has any firearms, do they? Anybody got any firearms, take it to the car now.
Just pass the bench right now.
Where'd it go? Cell phone off. Where'd it go? Cell phone off.
That's a phone, yeah, phone.
Yeah. Look at that little whoop. Come on, bro. Come on.
Wait, no, you can. Go ahead.
How you doing?
All right, good. How you doing?
Keys? Okay. How you doing, Mr.
Good. How you doing, brother, man? Camera, as you saw, as you listen, camera, as you saw, as you listen. This is why the governor of the state of Georgia, needs to step in. Nathan Deal, Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp. This is why the Georgia elected officials need to come into Gordon, Georgia. This is why the governor of the state of Georgia, the Georgia Attorney General, Eric Holder, the Justice Department, President Barack Obama, in all these southern cities. This is what is happening. And yet nobody, NAACP, the SCLC, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, notice, look, listen. Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press, and I'm George Boston Ryan. I think that we've had a good showing tonight, and people are really concerned about what's going on in Gordon. But it is indeed time for somebody to come in and put an end to this. I'm currently in Valdosta, Georgia. However, I have been to Gordon, Georgia on several occasions, as well as Meigs, Dawson, and many other small towns where black mayors were just recently elected to office in the state of Georgia. But what is now getting many people's attention in Georgia is this mayor, female in Meigs, Georgia, but Mayor Ann Whippaloo in Gordon, Georgia, well, it seemed as if though she has received much criticism. One newspaper there at the Wilkinson County Post had at least 4 articles or 5 in one paper. It is as if though she has committed more crimes than, say, Jack the Ripper, or even during the civil rights movement, more than any of the people who denied blacks the right to assemble or to use their restaurants. And so it seems like there is a new emergence of trying to get this elected official out of office by means other than the citizens who voted her into office by majority vote. Now, I just wanted to show you the newspaper, but I just saw something on Facebook about the money. Now, as you know, the city hall, the city government in Gordon, well, let's put it like this. People don't even know about all the banking accounts that the city has. And so there are people who are asking, because just like in Meigs, Georgia, the problems really started when Miss Linda Harris asked for an audit concerning the money. And it seemed as if though that's where the trouble started. That's where the trouble started. Yeah. And now we have appealed unto Governor Nathan Deal, unto all public officials in the state of Georgia to come and stop all of this that is happening with the black mayors in Georgia. Now, you know, we don't want any violence, but you do know that we have already had violence with one mayor in Dawson, Georgia, who was shot 6 times and his mother was pistol whipped. So we can only ask the question, why isn't Governor Nathan Deal and Georgia Attorney General concerned enough to intervene in these dysfunctional city governments before more people are hurt? This is why I have been calling for all civil rights leaders. I've been calling for Reverend Jesse L. Jackson, the Honorable Al Sharpton, other leaders to come to these areas and give these black females, in particular mayors, some assistance. Yes, they need money for attorneys. What good is the NAACP and the SCLC and NAN, National Action Network, if they can't come down here in these most turbulent times? Now let's turn to what's on Facebook, and let's see what is happening. I know before I left, somebody had put up a sign about where's the money. They're asking Mayor Whippley, where's the money? Well, there's a lot of people that want to know about the money. So let's see what they have put here on.
Okay, I'm looking at this sign. Gordon, better hometown. Mayor, we need our money. I am so shocked and disappointed that the Better Hometown Committee, headed by Mr. Daniels, Bruce Daniels, I'm shocked that you would have your people put this sign up for the simple fact that the mayor has done nothing illegal. She has stolen no funds. So my thing of it is, Councilman Edie.
Now, Councilman Edie is the mayor pro tem. How can, and it's just me speaking, I'm not speaking for no citizen, but how can the mayor pro tem file charges or bring up things against the mayor on city council, on a council that he himself is a member of? Now, this is something that I don't understand even myself. It seems as if though there's a conflict of interest, even with the mayor pro tem, possibly, as well as the city attorney. I have never seen anything like this before. It's like a lawnmower cranking up to cut grass, and the grass is not yours. So what interest do you have in it unless possibly it's dealing with money? Let's hear more about this. Now, let me back up again. I'm sorry. Let's start over again. This is so good.
Where is our money? Okay, I'm looking at this sign. Gordon, better hometown. Mayor, we need our money. I am so shocked and disappointed that the Better Hometown Committee, headed by Mr. Daniels, Bruce Daniels, I'm shocked that you would have your people put this sign up for the simple fact that the mayor has done nothing illegal. She has stolen no funds. So my thing of it is, Councilman Edie, where is our money? City Clerk Tawana Brown, we need our money. And City Attorney Boone, where's our money? We need our money. That's who you need to focus on. Not the mayor, but
Well, well, well. She say that's who we need to focus on. Now, you know, it's kind of sad that our young people have to step up to the plate when we grown behind black men folks in particular, and white right people cannot do what needs to be done in support of a mayor that has only been in office for 3 or 4 months, even before this happened. So how could she take any money or all of the money in such a short period of time?
How can you do me wrong when I'm doing you right? Baby, when I'm doing you right. Yeah, I bought you a car, house, and a diamond ring, and you're acting like I haven't done a thing. I wanna know how can you do me wrong when I'm doing you right? Tell me, baby, I wanna know how. Oh, I wanna know how can you do me wrong? Oh, baby, when I'm doing you right. Oh, yeah, when I'm doing you right. I worked a full-time job, part-time job at night. Oh, yeah.
George, Boston, Boston, Ryans, Rhynes.
And how do you want to be CG'd? It's like concerned citizen, or how, what do you want your title to be?
A retired military veteran and owner of the Ghetto Free Press.
All right, I'll be able to use Ghetto Free Press. All of that won't fit.
Whatever you say is fine. Whatever you say is fine. Do it your way.
All right, yes, sir. Okay, so what did you want to say?
Well, mainly I want to say that, personally, I'm sick and tired of seeing what I'm seeing here with Mayor Ann Whipperloo. And the news media seems to be in cahoots with someone, maybe the governor of the state of Georgia, Nathan Deal, maybe other people who have a hand behind the hand of a man with a master plan. This master plan seems to be a plan to circumvent the black votes and the black voters in the state of Georgia and perhaps around the nation. Now, point. This incident with Mayor Whipperloo, I just received a call, that's why I'm here. It seemed as if though this thing is unending, and it gotta end somewhere. This situation with her is all seemed to me to have stemmed from when she asked for a forensic audit. Now the people in Gordon here would believe probably that this is an isolated case with the mayor. It's obvious that she's black. You also have a case in Meigs, Georgia with Linda Harris, the black mayor. She's black. You also have a black mayor in Gibson. His name, in Lumpkin, his name is Charles Gibson. So now, not to mention Davisboro and a lot of them, but the bottom line is that there is an asserted effort to circumvent the black voters. Look, in Quitman, do you not know that there was a 19-day court hearing with the Quitman 10+2 with Lula Smart? The G.B.R. charged her with 30 to 40 counts of voter fraud. For 4 years, they finally went to court, just one of them. And she was cleared. All charges was dropped against her. We watched the G.B.R., we watched investigators from the Secretary of State's office, Brian P. Kemp, along with Glenn Archer, who I have an interest in that he ignored problems in the voting process in Brooks County. The Secretary of State ignored that. We had people that filed complaints in Brooks County, and a state person, candidate running for a state representative made complaints, and they all was ignored. I personally gave him DVDs about the problems in Brooks County. The citizens in Brooks County are still waiting back after a couple of years to get a reply back from the Secretary of State on these charges. Now, short form, why did I say all that? Because if the Secretary of State will not respond to the people in Brooks County, and if, with the video that I've sent to Eric Holder of the Department of Justice, Nathan Deal, and others about this case, about what is happening in Lumpkin, Georgia, in Meigs, Georgia, in Dawson, Georgia, Davisboro, Georgia, and many other Georgia cities to save time. And for this to go on and on and on, it just don't make sense. You have seen people disrupt council meetings here. We have seen the chief of police fail in his responsibility to assist the mayor in maintaining order and discipline according to Georgia law in these public meetings. And there are orchestrated efforts to dethrone this elected official. We even see judges now. Judges are circumventing the voters in the state of Georgia. How can a superior court judge have more power than the people? I thought they say we were a nation of laws with freedoms and rights to vote, a freedom of religion, freedom of the press, and it's obvious about freedom of the press because I said it once and I'm going to say it again. When Bill Bassett talked about this audit that the TV station, Mr. Luke, don't want to talk about. They'll talk about the mayor, taking keys, but they won't talk about that gas was missing, and this is why she took the keys. They won't talk about that. But all this has been documented. And so now it seems as if though some people want to make her think that she's unintelligent, they want to think that she's unprofessional, they try to make her look silly. Now they call her she threatened someone. I'm being quiet about that, but I was only 10 feet away from that. The newspaper here, you'll see my video on that. It just don't make sense to anybody of average intelligence to see how this mayor is depicted in the Wilkinson County Post. Not even Lester Maddox, not Bull Connors, not Albert Pike, not any of the people that was a part of something that was very disgraceful in the eyes of our nation was never published with ugly pictures as we see in the Post and the arrangement of a female. Don't you know, America, that this woman have children, grandchildren, and maybe great-grandchildren? How would you feel, America, if your mother or your auntie was depicted every week in the, like this mayor is being depicted in the Wilkinson County Post? Now, if you all are asking me why am I so passionate about this, because I served this country during the Vietnam era, and I'm not going to be quiet. You can come after me, you can do what you want, but the American people and all of our military people in uniform who are in foreign countries with their life on the line had better wake up, or they better get out those uniforms, because this country is going down like ancient Rome while we sit here and tell the world that we're about freedom, justice, and equality. We are, until it comes down to the black man and woman and his children. And this is nothing new, and it's not just a figment of my imagination, because I have white right people in Atlanta. They hit me up on YouTube. They traveled down to Quitman, to the Quitman 10+2 case after 4 years. Those people came down. The G.B.R. lied under oath. They lied. And then they form that they got is just a disgrace. And the thing about it, everything that happened with the Quitman 10+2 Lula Smart, all that stuff that took place in the courtroom was top secret, because nobody knows nothing about it, because no news media was there. It seemed as if though they got their orders from somebody not to even recover that news-worthy voting case after 4 years. And I walked the streets even before it went to court. I walked the streets in Brooks County, and I interviewed people who said this. The G.B.R. intimidated people. There were people who said they would never, ever vote again. There's an 88-year-old woman in Marvin, Georgia, says she will never vote again in the United States of America. And so now I'm saying to the President of the United States, I'm saying to Eric Holder of the Justice Department, I'm saying to Al Sharpton, I'm saying to Jesse L. Jackson, I'm saying to Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam, I'm saying to W.D. Muhammad side of the house under al-Islam, I'm saying to the Jews of Judaism, it is time now for us to stand up and let us stop doing what we are doing to these black women. And I found something out today that I didn't know about, and I'm going to add this in the mix before 6 and after 6. There are white female mayors that are catching hell on the backside of heaven, because they are those who don't want the women in power. And so the American people can sit down and ignore all of this that's going on and say, it's Mayor Lou, she done lost her mind. That woman haven't lost her mind. What done happened is the same thing that they did to Dr. King. Dr. King said it. I put this on my video a few minutes ago. Dr. King said this: the news media is no friend of certain Americans. He talked about when he went out to march, they didn't walk with him for the most part. It was only when those children started getting blown down with water hoses that the news media came in for the most part. And so I'm going to rest here, but I want you to know, and I thank you for this. I know you're not going to air much of it, but I want you to know I thank you for asking me this thing. If it seems like I'm passionate about this, it is. I am passionate. You see, I was during the Vietnam era. When I got that order to go do whatever my commander told me to do, I had to go do it. I didn't have a choice in the matter. And for me to see what I see happening across America after President Barack Hussein Obama became president, it is indeed a reason for all black and white right people to stand up and say something. You all better stop sitting down on your backside and just willing to pick up that M16 and go out and fight for foreigners, but you won't fight for your own black women, your mothers, your fathers, your sisters, your brothers who are mayor. Do you not know that Dawson, Chris Wright was shot 5 times, left in his yard for dead for whatever reason? That man is running for mayor again. But don't nobody hardly know nothing about that, because once again, our free press need to be called into question. Any question for me, my beautiful brother?
No, man, I'm good. I think you gave me a lot to work with and a lot to cut through. I appreciate it.
Thank you. God bless you.
And also, thank you for your service.
You're welcome, man. Thank you. God bless you. Anybody else want to ask me some questions?
Mayor, what did you want to say?
I want to say the attorney, boom. If he's so against the mayor, why would he want to work with her? I mean, there's no support there. I mean, why would you want that job? You're working with the concerned citizen. All of us are concerned citizens. I mean, we are here for the upbuild of Gordon, Georgia. You know, not discrimination or racism. Why would you want to work with somebody and you are against that person? He resigned, but why do he want his job back? I mean, he's with the concerned citizen. That does not make any sense at all.
And you're the mayor's sister, correct?
Yes.
Excuse me, can I ask you a question? Do you think that maybe this has something to do with the audit?
Of course, yes, I think so. I mean, you know, I know so. I mean, who wouldn't want a clean slate coming in? You know,
I'm not the mad black woman.
I mean, if I went into a new business and it was previously owned or mayor or preacher, anybody for that nature, you know, wouldn't you want to know a report, a clean slate, or what the finance look like? You can't do anything without the finance being in place. So why not an audit? I mean, it's ridiculous. Something as simple as an audit.
But one other thing, why do you think they find the worst pictures to put in the Wilkinson County Post of the mayor?
Anything to make the mayor look bad, and of course me to look bad also. They do me the same way. The worst picture, you know? I mean, to me it just seemed like they're about chaos, not helping the people and not for the people.
All right, thank you very much. What's your name once again?
Pamela Reed.
Thank you so much. The Ghetto Free
Thank
Press.
you.
Bye-bye.
Do me.
This is a miscarriage of justice in the state of Georgia that cannot be overlooked. The Secretary of State and the Governor have made it very purposeful that they will send the message that if you are African American and if you run for office, and if you honestly win the election, you will be punished.
Definition of an agency under the Open Meetings Act, that there's no real substantial basis to the complaint that was filed against her, and that the claims should be dismissed at this early stage of the litigation.
Now, there were 2 motions, right? What were the, you said There were 2 motions earlier to the judge?
That's correct. There were 2 motions. The first motion was that the mayor does not fit the definition of an agency. She cannot constitute a quorum of a governing body. Therefore, she is not subject to the Open Meetings Act as an individual single office holder. And the second motion was that as the mayor of the city of Warrenton, she's not a legal entity under Georgia law that could be sued. Those are the legal arguments that we made. The judge ruled otherwise, so the litigation will proceed.
How do you feel about that?
Well, it's always difficult to win a motion to dismiss at this early stage of the litigation. So we're not too disappointed in the fact that we didn't win that motion, but we did think the motion was meritorious, should have been granted. It was not, the judge saw it otherwise, so we'll carry on and go forward with the litigation.
Now that you have to go forward with the litigation, what is your approach that you're going to take for the next hearing?
Well, we're going to do discovery, take some depositions, go forward.
Are you going to argue for a jury trial or try to? Probably.
And why wasn't the mayor here today?
She had other obligations.
Anything else you would like to say that we didn't ask you?
Mr. Kendall, I want to ask you a question. Is this an isolated situation here, or is this something that may be happening in other cities in the state of Georgia here?
Well, I don't know. I haven't really investigated other situations. I just know what's going on here. I've heard of other situations, but I really don't have any first-hand knowledge of those other situations at this point.
Thank you very much.
And so July 25th is the next one.
That's correct. July 25th.
Thank you. Where are you based out of?
East Point,
Georgia. And do you have a contact number or a card?
EVLIN, Cooper, COPER.
And you're with Selling Melton?
Yes, ma'am. SELL, ampersand, and Melton, like thought, MELTON.
So the judge just dismissed his motion. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, we feel great. What he did was denied the motion to dismiss. There were 2 motions filed, which essentially said, even if we offer evidence at trial of these violations, it would not be sufficient to warrant the relief we've sought. We thought was a frivolous motion at the time it was filed. It made no sense to us. I think our response to the motion set that forth, and our arguments in court did. We're obviously prepared to move forward. We regret that there's been about a 30-day delay because of the motion, and we're ready to move forward with all haste.
Now, there's 26 counts?
There were 24 counts in the initial complaint. Yesterday we filed an amended complaint which adds 9. We've got other concerns about financial irregularities, reimbursements that are not proper, concerns about these checks to Mr. Baskett, the auditor, that still remain unauthorized. In fact, the mayor has now stopped putting those issues on the council's agenda. So Mr. Baskett, the financial auditor, has never been authorized to be paid, and she won't even ask the city council now to do that. So we've added 9 more counts to the complaint, and we anticipate that by July 25th, when we can finally proceed to trial, that we'll have even more allegations.
And what were you trying to express to the judge? And you can look right at Taylor.
What do you mean?
Well, what was your case? I mean, you're talking, he got up there and discussed his...
Well, our case was twofold. First of all, the Open Meetings Act specifically allows you to sue people who violate it. And it's in the statute. It says any person who knowingly and willfully violates the Open Meetings Act can be held liable to civil penalties. So that's what our suit seeks to do. The other thing that the suit seeks to do is make these allegations under the code of the City of Gordon and the charter of the City of Gordon, which allow for her removal from office. So our point to the court today is that these are issues that should proceed to a final evidentiary hearing, which is much like a trial, and that the court should rule on those issues at the appropriate time.
And the whole goal, your goal for Selling Melton is to get Mayor Whipple out of office, is that?
Yes, we think that we think the City of Gordon is teetering on the brink of bankruptcy. We're concerned that the state of Georgia is going to pull the charter of the City of Gordon, and essentially it won't be incorporated anymore. So our desire, our client's desire, and there's 7 of them that represent a much larger organization that concerns citizens of Gordon, is to have her removed.
So now until July 25th, what is Selling Melton's plan to, come back to court and have a better case, or you have, what kind of evidence are you going to be looking for? What are you
going to be doing?
Right. What are the things that you guys are going to be doing?
Well, in the next 60 days or so, we're going to be conducting a variety of depositions. We need to talk with Tawana Brown. We need to talk to the police chief of Warrenton. We need to talk with people who filed suit against her and filed EEOC complaints against her. We plan to depose all 4 of the other members of the city council. We plan to depose the mayor. So during the next 60 days, we're going to be assembling more evidence of her violations. We've already got plenty, but we want more.
Now, you're also talking about, I know Mr. Kendall was talking about how after 2002 and that the law about, suing individuals. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, the Open Meetings Act originally just provided for criminal penalties, and there was a case in 2012, Cardinal versus the City of Atlanta, that affirmed that the only person who can bring a criminal action is either the Attorney General, a Solicitor General, or a District Attorney. The 2012 amendments specifically provide for civil penalties to be imposed on people who violate the Act, and those penalties may be sought by any private citizen. Any person can sue, and that's what our suit seeks to do.
Now, his whole case was that what you guys originally sent to the judge and sent to the court was just, it wasn't right. It didn't have any type of legal basis. And obviously the judge denied that. So from here, what do y'all do when there's those, will there be any other motions that he could possibly kind of file through you guys? Any other motions from here to the point of court? We expect a lot of delay from the defense. We expect a motion for summary judgment, meaning that we expect the defense attorney to present evidence to the court and ask, as a matter of law, that evidence is insufficient to justify the removal of the mayor. We expect Mr. Kendall to file a motion to seek a jury trial. We expect to challenge the constitutionality now of the city charter and the city constitution. I expect all the delay tactics that are possible from the defense. Will you delay at all?
No. We're prepared to go on July 25th, and we will be ready that day. And we will oppose any delays in this case.
And just looking at my notes, it says, talking about the charter, how the city council and the mayor, that's the 6 and 7, was it 2.10, but the city council and the mayor is really considered? Right. Section 2.10 of the charter of the city of Warrenton defines the city council as being composed of 6 council members and the mayor of Warrenton. And then throughout the rest of the charter, it refers to what is necessary to constitute a quorum. What Mr. Kendall argued today, what the defense argued, is that the mayor seemingly is not a part of the city council, can't constitute a quorum, and therefore could not vote, because the provisions that define a quorum specifically refer to what's required to be able to vote.
Are all the plaintiffs here today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you have a card or a contact number for us?
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll take it.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Considering the fact that if the city is almost on bankruptcy, do you think that there's a great possibility that if this audit is not continued, that some type of audit should be done to account for all finances of the city?
I think the city should perform any financial audit that's approved by the city council. This has not been approved. I defer to the city council's judgment. I'm not a politician. I'm not elected by the citizens of Warrenton, and I'm not here to determine what's in their best interest. An audit, and a forensic audit at that, looks at what occurred previously and what spendings occurred previously. It never looks at what spending should occur in the future. So outside of trying to file criminal charges or allege some impropriety by the prior administration, the financial audit would not be of any benefit.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How can you do me?
This is a miscarriage of justice in the state of Georgia that cannot be overlooked. The Secretary of State and the Governor have made it very purposeful that they will send the message that if you are African American, and if you run for office, and if you honestly win the election, you will be punished. The Governor, the Secretary of State are trying to intimidate and suppress the African American vote since they know if the 400,000 registered African Americans in the state of Georgia that did not vote in the last election cycle come out and exercise a right that people have died for, the right to vote. If the African American community and all people of color exercise their constitutional right to vote, it will mean the demise of this white privileged aristocracy here in Georgia. That is not American. That is not worthy of the state of Georgia. This prosecution is a travesty. The prosecutors, the Secretary of State, the governor should be called out on what they have done to these women and called to publicly apologize for the 4 years that they have put them under this scrutiny and this character assassination. So that's how I feel about today.
Thank you very much. This is the Ghetto Free Press, just keeping it real. Once again, I want to appreciate you. You are a prime example, in my most humble opinion. While we cannot hate one another because of the skin color, it's not about skin color. It's about what is right and wrong. I think perhaps that Jesus put it best, and I put it in my own words: want for your neighbor that which you want, and have for yourself and your own children. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Amen. Thank
you. We want to thank Shaveen King and Miss Simmons out of Atlanta for taking on and carrying on the civil rights movement. Thank you for everything you're doing. Once again, the Ghetto Free Press. Bye-bye. The word is not guilty, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. Repeatedly, unanimous. This is the Ghetto Free Press. We are reporting what others ignore. The newspapers chose not to come, but we are here because we do believe that you have a right to know. And we are back in the courtroom. This is where it all took place. And once again, this is thank you for a job well done, Sheriff. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. This is Sheriff.
I see angels. I see angels coming down the street.
Once again, this is this is NAACP has been here all the way. This is, of course, this is smart. All that she has been through, she violated no law. If they had not stood her ground, we wouldn't have had this case. This case just may set a precedent here in Georgia. This is a very high thing. And we just hope that some conclusion can come to the other people. I see angels. I see angels everywhere. The School Board of Education. This is the most and we want to thank you. God bless you. God bless you.
Every mother is an angel.
For this day that we've been waiting
God made it that way.
4 years.
If you look around you,
that justice
coming down every street, every city.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You
nothing but angels.
This is very high.
In Washington, D.C., South Carolina, or wherever you may be. Heaven must be.
You may not understand this, but you don't have to see it. She said she didn't. She said that Amy the last lady, especially Amy the G.B.R, did not put the take on her desk. And she testified in court. Mr. Boone testified. She outside of the post
in the beginning, there was God.
This is a high day. What is most embarrassing? What is most embarrassing? Not one TV station, no news media, no newspaper, no radio station to record this historic event. This is what Black African Americans must go through. Not to mention Secretary of State ignoring
and to me,
public
we could not
meetings
make it
wherein all of this was brought up. The
and I like to
rejoicing.
say to God,
She's praising God because she is a Christian. She is nothing
thank you,
what
God,
they claim her to be.
for giving
She's
us
just praising God.
angels.
Listen. Listen. Listen.
Made mothers to be angels. You just might be looking at an angel right now. If you're in Los Angeles, California, Nashville, Tennessee, Texas, Arkansas, Missouri, Chicago, heaven must be around the corner. I see it.
George Ryan. Go ahead, Mr. Lumpkin.
I'm asking someone to let me know when I have 2 minutes. First of all, I want to say that for the majority of tonight, first of all, my name is George Dawson. I am the Guild of Free Press. And for the larger part of the night, I've been filmed by an individual in here. And for the larger part of the night, I've been filmed by an individual in here. For what purposes, I have no idea, but I want everybody to understand something. I'm very controversial. I've been doing this since '75. Eric holds the Department of Justice. This will be on YouTube probably as well. Justice Department out of Atlanta and other agencies are aware of what I do. They're familiar with the threats on my life. And so if this individual's pictures show up some places, it will be because of what I didn't do, but what others who are concerned about George lost around. I'm throwing that out. That was not a part of what I'm going to say tonight, but I'm throwing that out. Okay. First of all, I'm standing here because I was called to Quitman, Georgia, because of the newly elected black mayor there, James Charles Brown III, who wanted an office, and when he was inaugurated as the first black mayor, no one came from the council. I was then called to Meigs, Georgia. I was then called to Lumpkin, Georgia, wherein a sitting council member, Debbie Stone, called the sitting mayor, Charles Gibson, a nigger. That is being investigated as we speak. Then I was called to Dawson, Georgia, with Chris Wright, a newly elected black mayor who was shot 6 times, left in his yard for dead. I was then called to Davisboro, Georgia. I was then called to Warrenton, Georgia. I was then called to Gordon, Georgia. And I have been called to 11 cities. This is not a game for me. You can record me all you want. You can call me nigger many times that you like. Just like I was called nigger twice coming from Morris Bank on February 6, 2015. That stuff don't deter me. I put 21 years in the United States Armed Forces. This is my DD Form 214, my retirement paper, and one of the many commendation medals that I've gotten while in the United States Armed Forces. The reason I'm sticking around in Gordon for so long is because I've been passing this information on. Because I do not believe that any mother or grandmother should have to go through certain things simply because possibly the color of their skin. I don't believe that. It is obvious of that throughout my 5,000 videos on YouTube, 700,000 views across the nation. When I was called a nigger, that's the only reason I'm standing before you today. I don't have a problem. You can't offend me by calling me a nigger. My grandmother told me about that many years ago. My granduncle fought in wars, told me as a child how he fought the enemy, couldn't use the bathroom in the United States of America, couldn't do some of the other things that's supposed to be guaranteed by the Constitution. When you look at my record, you will see stellar clean in the military, stellar clean in Valdosta, stellar clean everywhere that I've been. The people who try to intimidate me in this city, it won't work. It will not work. I'm committed to the same principles that I served in this United States Armed Forces. I took pride in serving my country. San Antonio, Texas, security headquarters, inside the fence, the generals and the colonels, this is going to be on YouTube as well. That's where I work. And I work with pride. And I love this country until this day. And people who know me, the professors at VSU, at Valdosta State College, they know me. Black and white. They know who I am. My reputation speaks for itself. I'm going to continue to do what I do. Linda Harris, over in Meigs, Georgia, is worse than what's happening here. And as I close, I hope somebody keep it time because I don't want to go over. But let me say this in closing. It saddens me to see all these communities. The people are crying out for help and for some type of easement from what they're going through in these 11 cities. The Secretary of State, Brian P. Kemp, Georgia Attorney General Sam Olens, the Governor of the State of Georgia, Eric Holder, Department of Justice, All Civil Rights Division, Women Rights Organization, AFL-CIO, and others. They are watching what's going on. It's not just Gordon. To the people of Gordon, please don't think that it's just Gordon. Please don't think that. And for the white people who think black folks hate you, we don't hate you. And if we do, we shouldn't. Why? Because white folks fought for us, black folk, before we knew what the fight was all about. I know that. I study history.
Now, right.
So I'm going to take my seat. Seems like nobody tell me about the time. I think my 3 minutes about it. But no, wait. Let me say this. If anybody think that I tried to belittle them or down them, let me know, and I will apologize. There is no hatred in me. What I love is God's people. And what I love is for this nation to go up and not regress. That's what I want to see. So, Mayor and Council, I want to say this to you as I close for sure. When I was called a nigger, twice, I'm not calling no names. I'm not going to use the video that I turned around. I'm not going to do that. Why am I not going to do that? Because that's not what it's about. What it's about is building a better city. Whether it's Meigs, Dawson, Quitman, Warrenton, Davisboro, that's what it's about. When I was in the military, they didn't tell me nothing about no black and no white, no Democrat, no Republican. They told me to do what I need. I served in the Vietnam era. They didn't need all that.
clear.
Yes, sir. Y'all having a question for me? Yes, sir.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
I have a question.
Please do. Yes, all questions.
Do you live in Gordon?
No, I do not live in Gordon.
So you're not a citizen of Gordon?
No, I'm not a citizen here of the city of Gordon. And, well, no. She asked the question. She deserves the answer. And the answer is, no, I do not. I enrolled in the military in 1971. I didn't serve Gordon. I didn't serve Thomasville, Valdosta, Atlanta, none of them. Or neither of Puerto Rico or our outlying territories. I serve for everybody. And that's why I serve everybody. So when I'm called to these communities, I go because I care. That's why I go. Nobody give me no gas for coming up here for the most part. I do it because I love people. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So my question is, you're under the citizens talking time, and are you appearing as a citizen of Gordon or as a journalist, or how are you appearing here? If you're appearing as a journalist, why does the mayor stop me from speaking?
Madam, I go to a lot of cities. I'm very familiar with the laws of addressing city council. I have no idea, but I will say this. If the mayor stopped you from doing what I'm doing tonight as a journalist to get to Free Press under the name of George Boston Rhymes, if she stopped you after you put in the request to speak as I put in the request, she is wrong in my opinion. If you put in a request tonight, I think that you have a right to be doing the same thing that I'm doing, and I wish you would have. Now that's just the way I see it. Jesus said, what I say unto one, I say unto all. And so if you can't do it unto all of us, don't do it unto any of us.
That's right.
Yes.
You said that you don't try to belittle anybody or make them feel bad. When you hold the newspaper up that I publish and make criticisms about that newspaper, that's offensive to me because you're not going off fact. You're only going off opinion and your emotional feelings. And that's offensive to me.
Madam, I got you. She deserves an answer.
Listen, I'm not saying that, but
The
go ahead and
newspaper's
address
trash.
this.
Mike,
Go ahead.
this lady's talking
Excuse me.
out over here. This lady just called the newspaper trash, and she's talking out of turn.
Excuse me, ladies, right now. You will address that, and we will end this. Okay, please, thank you.
Editor Judy, baby, I will say this to you. If what I spoke was an error, or if I spoke that offended you, from my heart, I'm sorry. But from my observation, from what I know to be untruths, just like today's paper, I can sit with you, if you would like at any time, with the camera rolling. And let's dialogue the apples and oranges, and let's find out. Somewhere I read, come let us reason together. And that's what is happening in this world today. People are not willing to sit down and reason. It ain't about an argument, because if people looking for somebody to argue with George Boston Rhymes, I'm sorry, you got the wrong one. I don't argue.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Excuse me, Miss Bailey.
I'm speaking.
No, I said after he speaks, that would be the end.
Why you didn't
Please
He
have
went
a
over his 3
seat. We are
minutes.
moving further along because you kept asking questions. That's from the mayor. All right, let's have a seat. That's the end of that. So now, moving further along, you and him will have to get together. Y'all can answer all the
I don't
questions
have
you want.
anything else to say to him except listen to
All right, thank you. All right, so just be aware of that. All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Excuse me, Miss Bailey.
I'm speaking.
No, I said after he speaks, that would be the
Why
end.
you didn't
Please
cut him
have
off? He went over
a
his 3
seat. We are
minutes.
moving further along because you kept asking questions. That's from the mayor. All right, let's have a seat. That's the end of that. So now, moving further along, you and him will have to get together. Y'all can answer all the
I
questions
don't have
you want.
anything else to say to him except listen to him.
All right, thank you.
I don't have anything else to say to him except listen to him.
All right, thank you.
I don't have anything else to say to him except listen to him.
All right, thank you.
I don't have anything else to say to him except listen to him.
All right, thank
I don't have
you.
anything else to say to him except listen to him.
All right, thank
I don't have
you.
anything else to say to him except listen to him.
All right, thank you. next individual on the list is Mr. George Warrenton. Our next item of the next individual on the list is Mr. George Warrenton. So just be aware of that. All right, thank you so much.
It's me, I need my minute books.
Okay, let me say this. I have the minute books, and if you need them, you need to go and
do you realize you're supposed to look at those in my presence too? I'm the official record custodian. I am responsible
Clerk
for those.
Brown, good afternoon. And would you please
I don't think so.
Please exit my office, please.
It is.
You're violating. I am the official record. You're not even supposed to take those out of my office.
Was it advised?
Those are the official signed signature on there. You're very rude.
Leave it running. Leave it running.
And Mr. Ryan has no right to those records without open record
Please
request.
exit my office.
And don't forget you haven't done your.
But it is.
Have not signed
We
your
was
text
advised.
either.
They was advised. She was advised by the attorney.
The city attorney told me to tell you that. You're violating the rules.
Please exit my office. Y'all are being insubordinate.
No, ma'am, you're being rude and disrespectful to your employees.
Exit my office, please. Thank you.
Okay, the attorneys will be contacted.
Thank you.
Something to me when I've done nothing to him. This is the second time this has occurred. Now this, I think this is, no, I didn't. There were three times in one night when I went to across the street, people jumped on Odyssey. And this is only the third time I've been there in several months. Right there.
Right there. He was, I can tell you what happened. Y'all stand back. Excuse me, Sean. He came right here with his video camera. She was coming out. I had to say, excuse me. Excuse me. He was holding the camera steadily on her. Standing right here would not even allow me to come through. I had to go and holler, excuse me, Roy.
This is what happened.
This is,
Tommy, can you help me clear this? Everybody just needs to get it so I can get it squared away. All right. Wait, can you help me clear this? Everybody needs to get it.
Come on, Marianne, up over there. Come on up.
Madam Mayor, Madam Mayor.
I was there.
Madam Mayor.
Oh, you were?
Give me just a minute.
Oh, okay. Don't say that.
I didn't know you were there.
Yes, I was. And I'm not afraid to say
Let's step down now. But you tell me on camera what happened down there, since you say you was here.
I was right there.
No. Let's step down here by the city hall. Go step over there.
I will, yes. This is the truth. Julie.
Come on up in here, man. Hold on, we crazy.
No, they ain't crazy.
No, he says they won't work.
Stop that.
Madam Mayor, would you tell me what you saw?
As I was proceeding to come out of the city annex door, this guy, the grenade guy, I think his grenade was the gentleman came up with his camera as if he was planning something, pulled it out, had it in his hand, walked there at the middle where that number is 108, and Ms. Well came out talking to me, and he interrupted her and had the camera on had the camera up on her, and she asked him to move the camera, and he wouldn't. And as I asked him to excuse me to go in to get the sergeant to come out and take me so that I could leave, to escort me out, I had to say 2 or 3 times, excuse me. And so it went from there.
Okay. Well, did you voluntarily try to explain what happened, or will you provide a statement to the police since you say you was there?
Yes, I will.
Okay,
no problem.
Why don't you go and get on record with the chief of police and tell him that you saw and that you would like to make a statement, if not tonight, some other time?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press. We just want the truth, that's all.
I don't know what happened. I saw him inadvertently. Exactly. But I saw this lady.
Mr. Rhymes, you got to leave too. Back up from here. Okay.
It's 50, law 50 feet. Want to go back 50 feet? That's the law.
No, sir. Being asked to leave because hostilities have been going on, okay?
Okay, well, we'll leave.
That's the reason I'm asking everybody to leave. Okay?
I will leave. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm asked to leave, and 50 feet, I've been told, but he said everybody been asked to leave. So for the peace and harmony of everybody, I guess we'll leave.
Yes.
Thank God I was here today.
Thank you, and so the mere fact of the matter is this is what I have to endure. And let it be known for the record that we will have to get someone in, a higher administrator to deal with this. The clerk is totally, the chief is totally out of order. And be it known today that I would like to have a copy of the record of this video or DVD to send to Judge Robert Reeves. Thank you.